Hey, brothers and sisters, Matt Hatton here. So, we are back with another Knights of Avalon family review. We are going to go through Sir Lancelot's specials and everything about this hero. And I will share with you my complete thoughts as far as what I think about him as a hero. I will definitely say that he is a lot more interesting, or I like him a lot more than I was expecting. So let's jump into it, and we'll take a close look at Sir Lancelot. So Sir Lancelot is a part of the Knights of Avalon family. He's a fire fighter, and he is going to be a 4-star epic hero. So you can take him all the way up to 470 if you fully ascend him. His stats when fully ascended are going to be 756 attack, 533 defense, and 1047 health. And his special is called Inspiring Fencing, running at average mana speed. So Sir Lancelot is dealing 265% damage to a single target. And then the caster and nearby allies are getting plus 24% mana generation for 4 turns, which I absolutely love about this hero. And then the caster and nearby allies are also getting plus 48% attack for 4 turns. So I also like that as well. So Sir Lancelot, as far as his specials running at average mana speed, is very impressive. I love the fact that he's doing pretty reasonable damage to a single target. Not great, but not bad. But he is really buffing up the attack and the special charge on the 2 allies that are to either side of him. So that's a really great collection of specials, in my opinion, as far as on a 4-star epic hero. So if you do want to fully ascend him to 470, it's going to require 1 compass, 1 fine gloves, and 4 hidden blades. And then in addition to the food it's going to take to feed him up to this point, you're going to need an additional 442,000 food to take him all the way up to Ascension level 4. For the fighter, being an epic, it's going to be required, or it will take 505 fighter tokens to fully take him all the way up to 20. If you were to follow the sword path, that would increase his attack to 861, his defense to 587, and his health to 1227. And then if you take the shield path, his attack would increase to 816, his defense would increase to 674, and his health would increase to 1150. So with Sir Lancelot and his specials, I would definitely recommend going the sword path. You want to increase his attack. He doesn't have great defense or health, but the increase in attack is definitely going to be more worth the emblems than taking the shield path and trying to make him more survive or more healthy or more stout so that he'll survive. As far as the emblem path with the fighter, his ability is going to be called Revive. If you fully ascend him or emblem him up to 20, it's going to be increasing his chance to revive with 1 HP by 30% after a fatal blow. And then if he is revived, it's going to happen at the end of the turn. So within any of these fighters, they're not coming back with a lot of health, actually just barely alive. So one thing to keep in mind is if there's like a burn effect or some damage over time, it could essentially just wait for him to revive at the end of the turn, and then it could kill him right away. But a lot of times what I've noticed is if you do emblem these fighters up to 15 or close to 20, the chance to revive just feels like it's a lot more than 30%. These heroes or these fighters tend to revive themselves a lot. So again, with the emblems, just follow the swords down the path. It won't really matter too much if you get a sword with a shield or a sword with health, but I would recommend just following the sword. And then if you do have the option between shield or health, just go with the shield for defense. As far as the troops, as usual, the mana troops are going to be your bread and butter as far as what you ultimately would be wanting to use with him. Keep in mind, for events, with him being an epic hero, you might be limited to 3-star troops. So maybe just follow what I'm about to say as far as the troops, and you can apply that to finding 3-star troops that kind of fit this. You're not going to have a mana troop in the 3-star troops, but you definitely have a critical troop. So until you get the mana troops leveled up a bit, you're going to be it's going to take you 10 fire tiles to fully charge Sir Lancelot's special. If you ghost 5 fire tiles, that will fully charge his special as well. But until you get the mana troops up to level 23 and increase the charge rate from average to fast, I would recommend, if you're not using him in an event that's going to be limiting you to 3-star troops, if you're able to use 4-star troops, just stick with the critical troops, because you do want to increase his attack. But more importantly, I think the defense and the health and the chance to have a critical strike is going to help you a little bit more than what the base mana troops are doing. So just my recommendation, but critical troops are definitely doable, and maybe you don't have mana troops. So for Knights of Avalon family bonus, if you have 2, 3, 4, or 5 of these heroes, you're increasing your critical chance by +5, 10, 15, or 20%. And then you're also increasing your healing by 4, 6, 9, or 13%. So as far as a bonus build idea, it's going to be very similar, or actually the same as what I recommended with Merlin. But I would have Sir Lancelot in as a flank position, no matter which team that you put him in. He's got some pretty cool defense that's going, or excuse me, he's got some pretty cool attack that's going on. But the key thing with him and his abilities, is that his special is applying to himself and surrounding allies. So he doesn't have the defense and the health to be feasible at a tank position. So really the only realistic or smart position to put him in is going to be flank, because you're going to want to be spreading that mana gen increase to multiple of your allies, ideally the tank and then the wing to his side. And then you're going to want to increase the attack to as many of the allies as possible. So you'll be increasing the attack of the tank and then the wing as well. So as far as a 4-1 build, where we're not really focused on the Avalon family heroes specifically, I would say a 4 fire and 1 nature build might do pretty well for Sir Lancelot. What I would have is Sumitomo as the tank. So he can provide a lot of counterattack that's going to be taking a lot of damage coming in and firing it back at the enemy. Brynhild on flank 1 is a great flank because she also makes a good tank, but I'm going to have her flank because she's going to provide a mana gen bonus to Sumitomo and to your wing 1. And then if you have Sir Lancelot as flank 2, he's also providing a mana gen bonus to Sumitomo, and then he's providing a mana bonus or mana gen bonus to wing 2. So in this build, you'll notice that I actually have slow heroes as the wings. So ideally you want to use fast mana speed heroes in the wings, or your snipers. But with this type of build, where you have mana gen that's going on at both flanks and that's affecting both wings, it does open it up, open the possibility up to running slower troops. Maybe they're average or maybe they're slow charge, but with that mana increase or the mana gen increase, you can charge them up in a reasonable amount of time. So this is a strategy that, just keep in mind that you don't always have to have fast heroes at wing. In this build, it's a perfect example of how you can have a very high damaging team that's got some pretty good healing and pretty good defense going on with counterattack. But then if you get these heroes firing off their specials, especially with Sir Lancelot increasing attack, you could do some devastating damage. Just my recommendation, but I'm definitely going to be trying out this exact team in several events and probably some raids here and there. So I will let you know how it goes, in a future video. But if you do have these heroes and you want to try it out, leave a comment. Let me know. I'd definitely be interested in your thoughts. So as far as Sir Lancelot, he is part of what I call the mana gen meta. So I'm going to apologize in advance. There are a lot of examples of heroes that do this. A lot more than I was actually expecting. But as far as the fire element, of course, you do have Sir Lancelot providing mana gen. You also have Kagan, who's another 5-star, or he's a 5-star legendary. He provides mana gen. We've got Bakken, who's part of the Knights of Avalon family as well. He's a pretty cool 3-star. We'll go into more detail on the video specifically about him. And then for the nature heroes, as we mentioned in that team build, we have Brynhild, who is a really cool hero with a really great healing special, but she's providing a nice mana gen for the heroes to either side of her. Alberic is definitely a really good hero. He is providing a nice mana gen, and then obviously his revive makes him, pretty much an incredible hero if you're lucky to have him. But he is part of the mana gen meta, so I wanted to mention him. And then Margaret is another 5-star legendary. She is part of the mana gen meta because her element, her nature element link is providing a mana gen. And then Kingston, another great 5-star fighter. He's providing mana generation for all nature allies through his element link. And then Friar Tuck, a really cool 3-star hero. He's providing mana gen, so this makes him one of the better 3-star heroes. So I think you probably notice a pattern, but I am very high on heroes that do have this mana gen ability in some capacity. So as far as the Dark family or Dark element, Boss Wolf is a very slow hero, but he has a pretty cool mana gen that's going on for the team. And then he's unique because he's actually providing negative mana generation against the enemies for 4 turns as well. And then Seshat provides mana generation through her Dark element link. So that's pretty cool. She's one of the better wing heroes. Massandra in the ice element is providing mana gen, a small amount basically through each ally after she fires her special that's hit. So it is a little bit smaller than some of the other heroes, but technically she's increasing mana generation. Fenrir is a unique example. I did include him. Now he is providing mana generation for himself, but it's based on what damage he's doing to targets or minions. But technically he's mana gen. And then in the holy element, Inari is a pretty cool hero. She's providing mana generation increase as well. And then Sif is probably one of my favorite mana gen meta heroes. She's providing a pretty significant mana gen for herself and the each ally on either side of her. So she makes a really pretty cool tank because she's providing reflect or counterattack as well, in addition to the mana. And then I should mention she's also decreasing the damage by 50% from what's coming into her and her 2 flanks. So that's pretty big part of why she's so great. Another one of the, I guess, the newest hero to the mana gen meta would be Odin, who is probably, or has the potential to be providing one of the biggest mana gen increases for the entire team if you have him fire off when you have a bunch of holy shields on the board. So as far as Sir Lancelot, as I was mentioning, he's really built as a flank and really not anything else. He's too weak for a tank, and you're just going to be wasting his specials if you have him as a wing. His strong position as far as Titans is going to be against Nature Titans because he's a fire hero. So he is a pretty cool hero. Mana generation or an increase against Titans is never going to hurt you. And he's also increasing the attack of the allies that are around him. So that's pretty cool. In wars, defense, and raids, he is a pretty cool hero. If you don't have a bunch of 5 stars, and you're working with 4 stars, if you're lucky enough to get Sir Lancelot, I would strongly recommend leveling him up. He is not only a great option as far as a hero to fully ascend, but if you have some fighter emblems laying around and you don't have just one of those heroes that you absolutely want to emblem, you're not going to go wrong by embleming Sir Lancelot, and maybe storing those emblems until you get a 5-star hero or some other fighter that you want to transfer those emblems to. And then for tournaments, I like him in all tournaments. I think the mana generation and the increased attack that he's providing helps him really thrive and perform well in all the different tournament modes. And then for events, he's a great hero as well. Great 4-star hero, and I really like him because he's not really dependent on having 4-star troops like a mana troop to perform well. So he's going to be great in your epic events where you're limited to 3-star troops. So overall, definitely Sir Lancelot surprised me. I was not thinking he was as good as he was, but when I started taking a closer look at everything that was going on, I really do love this hero. So he's going to get an A. That's an easy A for me to give him. So thanks for watching the video. If you like the content, feel free to like and subscribe. We definitely are going to cover all the other Avalon heroes that we haven't covered yet, and those videos are going to be very quickly behind this one, if not around the same exact time. So thanks for tuning in, and definitely check us out on the next video if you're interested. But thanks for coming by today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care, everybody.